All right, let's go to Brian in Simpsonville. Hi, Brian.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Brian, we're doing awesome. How can we help you?
I have an internet speed issue.
Okay.
On an HP desktop, the cable company that I'm plugged into says that we're supposed to be getting 30 megabits per second download speed. And I noticed over the holiday that mine was just running tremendously slow. So I called their 800 number support and really kind of got nowhere, except they pointed me to a test site where you can do a speed test, and I'm getting like 2.5 to 3 megabits per second.
Sure.
So it's incredibly slow compared to what it's supposed to be.
Right.
It does connect, and I do see the internet, but just like it was 1980.
Yeah, are you in? It's how to simulate dial-up at home. So let me ask you a question on this. So it's really slow. I mean, what else have you got on this? And are you connected to it wirelessly, or are you connected via a wire?
No, it's hardwired. Cable modem and one PC. That's it.
Okay.
Simple little system.
So your PC is connected via an Ethernet cable to this cable box, for example.
Correct.
Okay. Go ahead, Eric.
Well, I was going to ask if you had another system that you could plug in just to test, to isolate it from the system.
We're just thinking out of one brain now. We were coming up with exactly the same answer here. We're going to test it with something else.
We're on the same track. I brought my laptop home from work and plugged it in and got 40 megabits per second.
Aha.
So it's something about the computer and not something about your cable or your internet, right?
Right. They did send a technician out who checked the line and actually replaced my modem, gave me a new modem, but said that the line checked fine.
Okay, so it is something inside your computer. We got to figure out what that something is, and it's almost always seems for me, Eric, to come down to drivers of some sort for the network adapter. And I mean, I don't want to go off of just make sure you download the latest driver, because that's not always it. But when we have this problem, the way I have fixed this in the past is you go disable or delete the card from the drivers and have it reinstall them. Now, Brian, we're going to be friends if you tell me you've never tried that.
Well, we're friends.
Okay. All right. Because if you go in and try to delete that card off of, it's in Control Panel or something like that, you pull it up, delete it, have it reinstall it. I have had that solve this problem before, and I don't know what gets in the way, but something does, and it's all magic once you get down to that level anyway. But something in there gets that stuff reset for you and basically gives you a good, clean path back to it again.
Okay. So delete the current ones and reload.
Right, and it'll reinstall, it'll pop, and then it'll say, oh, wait a second, I've got this device, but we don't have the drivers. Let's redo it again. And you say yes, and it'll pop through and reinstall them. And my guess is that might solve this thing for you. A pretty good chance.
Okay. I shall give it a try. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure enough. Best of luck.
All right, good luck.
Okay, that's a half win. I'm going to give half points.
Well,
for
actually, I'm going to up the ante here a little bit. There's a resource that if that doesn't solve it for him, if there are other folks who have the same issue, there's a website, broadbandreports.com, that's a great source of information. They have tests. They also have discussion forums where if you're having network configuration issues, if you have a suspected issue with your ISP, sometimes they'll have discussions of, when there's an outage or something. But the tools section there has, beyond speed tests, a couple of other tools and utilities you can use to test your system to make sure that everything is working properly, and then some ways to help correct and make adjustments if you are having a problem. So
yeah, one thing I liked about Brian's call there was that it was a simple setup, not a lot of wireless to diagnose as well. We haven't talked about this, but I bought a brand new wireless router at the house, which I love, think it works beautifully, but I have always had it this way, and I've done nothing about it, but I've always had my wireless telephone sitting right next to the router at my house, and I have figured out this time that if you're on that phone, one of the channels of the router just disappears while the phone is hot. So I got to get a little space between the two of them.
So next time somebody calls in, has that problem, we'll know the answer.
maybe. We're going to, please have the same problem. Yeah. I don't know.
We learn from experience.
Yes, indeed.